Assuming you are very frequent in taking weed, assuming you are very, very conversant in smoking marijuana, and you want to fight a man who doesn't smoke, the best thing to do is to give him weed to take. Because you know that immediately he take that weed, his brain can no longer comprehend it. He will be intoxicated with destruction. And so it will now be easy for you to manipulate him and destroy him. This was exactly what happened between the Europeans and Africa. Africans are new to violence. We are never violent people. Killing is not in our DNA. The Europeans actually introduced this violent system to defeat a people who have a culture of peace. But one thing we fail to understand is that you cannot play the game of the predator as a prey. And all the track record of the Europeans and the Americans is proving them as a predator. And I will start with the origin of money. From 1944 to 1971, dollar was actually originated as a receipt to show how much gold you have. That means, look at how it is done. The American have a bank. And in this bank, what you are there to do is bring your gold to us. $1 is equals to 1 pound, 1 pound of gold. You bring 10 pounds of gold, they will give you 10 pounds of dollar. So this dollar is actually, hold this receipt, this $10 as a proof that you have 10 pounds of gold with us. So money is actually a reflection or a receipt of, look at what you are keeping with us. The origin of money now. For those of us who are just thinking that we are pursuing paper, understand where money began from. 1944 to 1971. The American was actually using dollar or enacted dollar as a receipt to show the amount of gold you have with us. A man bring 20 pounds of gold. They give the man 20 pounds, $20 as a receipt to show that this one have 20 gold with us. So when he comes to buy something from you, because he have 20 gold with us, he merited it. This was the system of transaction that actually enacted paper money. And why they were going? Because it is in the DNA of Americans to fight and to kill people. Americans went to war with Vietnam. And while they are fighting this war, they began to lose literally everything. They have to spend much. They begin to use gold that we are stored in their bank, that they collected from people and issued them dollar. They begin to use it to finance this war. And it's come to a point that Americans now begin to have gold deficit. Meaning what? Meaning that the amount of gold they now have in their bank is no longer salvaging the number of dollar they issue to people. That means they were actually using the gold people brought to the bank to go and fight a war. So the gold now inside the bank is no longer directly proportional to the amount of dollar they issue to people. So the Americans know that they were in trouble. They went for war and they began to use gold that was assembled or gathered from the people to reflect and give them dollar as a reflection of their value to fight. And so if they are now to give gold back to the people, they will no longer stand, it will no longer be equal. And the society is now beginning to understand this. You know how catastrophic it will be. Everybody will be rushing to the bank to give back his own dollar and collect his gold. Money is just a piece of paper. Men put value on money. When Americans understood this, they knew that there was problem. There was a very, very severe problem. So on August 1971, Richard Nixon, the president of America, did what was called the Nixon shock. Go and browse about it. Nixon shock is a place whereby the president of America, Richard Nixon, came to the media and declared that we will no longer exchange dollar for gold. The whole Americans were traumatized. That means that dollar you have in your hand, you can no longer come back to bank and collect this gold you have. They knew there was problem. They knew this thing is catastrophe. Nixon shock begin to overrule people. But one thing America knew is that even though we have a gold deficit, we still know how to kill people. Our assignment is to go to nation and kill them, and then by all force, we must extract what they have from them. We have Saudi Arabia people to kill them. And when Saudi saw that this predator is coming after our oil to kill us, the Saudi Arabians come and say to the Americans, they say, no, please don't kill us. But we have a negotiation deal for you. We have oil. And because we have oil, we are going to make it in this way. Every country that want to buy their oil from us, they will first have to go and get dollar before they will now come and use the dollar to buy our oil from us. And this deal was signed between Saudi Arabia and the American, called the Saudi-American dollar deal. So today, if you want to buy oil in the whole world, everybody will now first go to exchange their currency with dollar before going to buy that oil from Saudi. So dollar again begin to regain its strength again. This was the way the Arab as the priests understand that if we are to confront these people, the only thing that America is going to come to kill us. Let us play intelligent. These people are the predators. We are the priests. So let us use a soundness of knowledge to invade these predators from invading us and killing us. Because it is naturally in their own DNA to kill people as a predator. The lion have no reason why he will kill an antelope. If you have to kill an antelope to come and sit down, let the lion sit down, let us explain what happened. What will the lion explain to the antelope that he did? So the best thing the lion will do is to make sure that negotiation never happened. Because any negotiation that will make them to come in the court, the lion will die of hunger. So the Europeans or the Americans are in their DNA a predator. The Saudi says, come. We will give you anybody that want to buy oil from us, we first go and get dollar. And so today in the international market, no matter the amount of dollar you want to buy, what you first of all go and get dollar. And that was where dollar now regained its strength again, to be able to balance people that we are holding it. There are many nations that have risen to fight against this oil dollar exchange. Number one of them is Iraq. Iraq have a man called Saddam Hussein. This man rose up and says, no, we will begin to exchange our own oil with euro. Euro was formed in 1999. That was the first time that they enacted this euro of a thing. Sorry, is it 1999? I'm not certain of the year. Maybe 1966 or thereabout. Let me not quote something wrong. That was the first time that euro was actually invented. And so, Iraq says, we are going to be exchanging our own oil with euro, no longer dollar. America invaded Iraq, captured Saddam Hussein, and killed him. Gaddafi of Libya rose again and says, no, we are not going to continue exchanging our oil with dollar. This is indirect slavery. This is us giving strength to other people's currency. Libya will be exchanging their dollar for gold. America says, look at this idiot. They invaded Libya, captured Gaddafi, called him a terrorist, and killed him. Venezuela came and says, no, we will no longer be exchanging our dollar with our oil with dollar. We exchange it with other people's currency. They says, okay, we sanction Venezuela. Now, Venezuela is the country in the whole world with the highest oil reserve. But Venezuela is restricted from selling their oil in the world market. Why? They rose against selling their dollar, they're selling their own oil without the predators' money. One thing we have not fully understand is that the way the predators live is direct opposite of the way the priest lives. The predator is always ready there to wipe off a whole entire nation, to be able to succeed in actualizing his own agenda. But your ancestors were never violent people. We are new to violence. Just like people that never take weed. Weed was introduced among us. And because we are new to it began to intoxicate us. My assignment as a light of African man is to return Africa to the template of that family where peace was actually originated from. So we can begin to engineer Onyaya na one near again. Because the priest knows we have to be united. Communism is our culture. In our unity, people cannot divide us. But Bible came and says no. That he chose the foolish things of this world to confirm the wise. There are three categories of men in the world. One is called the wise people. The second is called the foolish people. And the third is called the middle class. The wise ones are actually those that are very, very wise, that even if you show them money, they cannot compromise. The foolish are those that are very, very foolish, that even if you show them wisdom, they cannot accept that foolishness. The middle class are those that are looking for a way to follow anybody to anywhere. So the one that have the loudest voice will either be followed by the foolish people or the wisest people. The Bible now says, 1 Corinthians chapter 1:27, it says, he chose the foolish things of this world to confirm the wise. So the foolish people begin to rule the masses of the wise people and the middle class. But in Africa, wisdom was actually enacted as a situation of ruling our people. He says, wisdom of this world is foolishness to God. You can imagine, the wisdom of this life is foolishness to God, because God is government of Americans. Wisdom of the world will be foolishness to them, because in the wisdom of the world, you will now call America and say that to America, America, why are you killing Iraq? America will have no explanation. So the whole wisdom you are bringing to make America not to kill Iraq is foolishness of this world. My assignment is to bring people in this WhatsApp group, mentor them and pour upon them the anger to go and burn. Yes. I don't fear dying early. I fear dying without recruiting people. That's why in this WhatsApp group, I fight with all my strength to pour this fire upon people who will go on extending this light to people. So whether you are a boy or whether you are a girl, when you come to this light by proximity in this WhatsApp group, you have all it takes to charge. We are energy. In this platform, we leave no room for darkness. Light of Africa is actually that which comes to a man. It travels into his soul and begins to permeate him into the organic restoration of the ways of an African man. So my assignment is to put upon you the garment of thinking, the garment of reasoning. Because the Europeans, which are predators, their life is direct opposite of the praise. And when they are coming, they are always coming with the Bible. The reason why they are not invading Africa was because Africa was conquered mentally. Africa was not conquered physically. And when you conquer a man mentally, there is no more need of deploying a physical force. When you watch Iraq was not conquered mentally. Iraq was conquered physically. Iran was conquered physically. So you will always see that they are fighting war against them. But when you come to Africa, you ask an African man, what's your name? He says, my name is Adamu. My name is Lawa. My name is Musa. Such name never existed anywhere in Hausa land. It's not an Hausa man name. It was imposed on them by Islam. The same way you come to Igbo land and ask an Igbo man, what's your name? He says, my name is Matthew. My name is Timothy. My name is Matthias. My name is Titus. They knew these ones have lost their identity. Let's not fight them again. The day an African man become mentally awakened, you will now understand the life of the predators and the life of the priests. I challenge you, my dear brother, it's time for you to resurrect. He chose the foolish things of the world to confirm the wise. That's you, God, an African man today. The reason why your nation is dying, people are dying in road accidents, pregnant women are dying, no job anywhere, all kind of catastrophe happening in Africa today is because he chose the foolish things of this world to shame the wise. Look how far America have gone to fight war to preserve their dollar. That's the reason to tell you how extent they can go to kill you any day you become awakened. But we bring the communism of Africa. We bring the family settings of Africa back. Our ancestors doesn't know how to kill people because we worship the land. And the greatest evil against the land is to shed blood on the ground. That's why sometimes you hear that one person died. A whole village will not kick and says, oh, blogger, nobody will go to farm that day. People are mourning blood. People are mourning just one person. You see a whole street, everybody there, everywhere there is silent because one man died. They revered blood. But in America, a whole community died and nobody feeling that. The predators is living direct opposite of the ways of the priest. It pains me a lot that people in our WhatsApp group have not even come to full understanding of what we are engineering. This is life. This is light. This is what is indispensable, what we cannot negotiate with anybody. That the Americans is ready to wipe you off to make sure that their dollar still remains the exchange rate for your own oil in your community. How much more the revolution you are trying to engineer? How much more the change you are trying to engineer? Africans, we are conquered mentally. So what I'm doing is mind sanitation. What I'm doing is speaking to the conscience of people. That's why when you come to the WhatsApp group, when I speak to ladies begin to cry. Their hearts are enveloped, and so they begin to look for second husband for their wife, for their husband. You begin to look for second wife for your husband when you come out into our WhatsApp group. You begin to think change. You understand the principle of Onyanya and Wanya. You understand communism of Africa. I am so bitter. I'm so angry. Energy is radiating in my body. The assignment is to extend this to youth who will lose peace until they see Africans become awakened. The assignment is to reintroduce peace in that family that was destroyed with the Europeans' business. Africans will be mentally free. Mind sanitation is our project.